Hello, welcome to Facebook Live 122 of 365 days. My name is Jessica Lozano and I am a woman's relationship coach and feminine embodiment mentor, helping women, guiding women to have extraordinary love lives with the love of their life. And if you are on the path of finding the one, calling in your sacred union relationship, this live is for you. Because what I'm going to talk about today is about how to get out of these wobbly zones with men, especially your exes, and how to choose your path of like the one, where you're leading yourself in this trajectory where you're calling in and you're embodying the frequency of what you want in a man. And not falling for old frequencies that are going to pull you back and slow you down from the relationship that you ultimately really desire. So if this is you, keep watching. If you know someone who is on the path, they're single, they're wanting to call in their husband, the one, the love of their lives, they really want a sacred union partner, share this with them. And if you know someone who's also wobbly with their past relationship, this is also going to be for them as well. So one of the things that I coach my women through is being able to stay in their personal power with men. Stay in their personal power with love. Stay in their personal power with what it is that they're really calling in, and staying in that frequency of that and removing themselves out of the circumstantial power or the no power at all, right? So what can happen a lot of times is that we were in a relationship that finally you decided that it's no longer that you're done with it. So then you move on. Yet what happens after a breakup? Or when you've been single for a while, right? And maybe you're really yearning for your partner, like for the one. And then these men start to show up, or your ex comes in and start saying sweet nothings, perhaps inquiring about themselves and about certain questions that they're looking into about what they could have done better. And you start having these conversations with men that all of a sudden start to remind you of certain traits that you really like. Let's say your ex, and it starts reminding you of the parts that you fell in love with. Here is where it's really important to get past words. And when you're dating men, it's really important to get past words too, to get past the things that they're saying to you right up front. Because if you fall for those, you are becoming wobbly with what it is that you really want. You are falling for the things that were familiar in the past, the things that maybe turned you on in the past, but it's not really made up of anything of substance. Right? Because if you remember, those were the reasons why. Because of lack of substance, because of only the talk and not the walk, is why you moved on, is why you were so heartbroken, is why when you start dating men and you start falling for the words and the lack of substance instead of them really following through, you're like, this is empty. This is empty. I'm now repeating myself in the same cycles that I was before. This is circumstantial power or no power, usually more circumstantial power. But circumstantial power is not a bad place to be, because the next step after circumstantial power is power. Circumstantial power is really you're navigating between the no power and having power, like you're in that middle zone. So how do you get out of this wobbly zone? You get out of this wobbly zone by knowing what it is that you stand for and not falling for what your pussy is saying, right? and using both your discernment and your intuition about what is exactly in front of you, and really looking at your own facts about what you see in this person, instead of falling for only the good things, right? So recently I was coaching a client through this, where she had recently broken up with an ex, and he started to come back and started to say certain things, and she started to get really turned on, and they were about to hook up. Thankfully they didn't. And then I reminded her of the fact that, yes, he's making some changes and he's asking and he's inquiring about changes, but about 2 weeks ago, you were crying. You were really down because he wasn't giving you what you wanted and needed. In one conversation, he's not going to show you who he is and if he's embodying what he's talking about, which means he doesn't deserve the Holy Grail. He doesn't deserve your pussy. But what happens is that we start to eroticize these old wounds and we get turned on by them. And shadow match relationships are very highly sexual, where it really is like this extreme intensity in your lower chakras, and it's like it bypasses all logic and reason. It bypasses all your discernment. So this is why it's so important for you to know what it is that you want. Know what it is that you want and what you stand for. If you know what you stand for, you won't just fall for anything. When you know what you stand for, you're not wobbly. When you know what you stand for, it's easier for you to see, is this person matching up to what it is that I want? Is this person matching up to what it is that I want? Is this person matching up to what it is that I want? If he is not, he does not deserve access to you and to the next levels. He has to master this first level, right? So when every single time you come back, every single time you start to play with these men that are not meeting you at where you want them to be, because you're entertaining it, because you're feeling aroused, you want to like have sex with them, because they're turning you on, because you're getting super wet, or because they're saying things to you that inflate your ego, or things that you haven't heard in a long time and they feel good. You're falling back into the old frequency. Now, again, this isn't always a bad thing, because this is here to show you like, okay, here's an opportunity. What am I going to choose? Am I going to choose this same frequency and continue to work through continue to stay in this cycle that I've been? Or am I going to be brave and courageous and choose the other path? Choose what I know I really want, and know that that's available for me. I will no longer allow this in my life. I'm going to only allow for this. And every single time that you solidify those boundaries, you keep that standard that you have given yourself and solidify those boundaries by saying, this is not for me. You are opening your heart, you're opening your path, you're opening your energetic field of love for this, and you're closing down this. Right now, it's like open here, maybe a little bit here, but it's open here to the old frequency of love that you're in. And you have to start shutting that down, and stay focused here. This is the no wobble. The wobble also comes when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling lonely, and you don't know what to do with it. It feels too uncomfortable to just stay in it. And because it feels too uncomfortable to just stay in it, you cave. You call your ex. You go on Tinder. You start looking for guys. You start to talk, right? This is where it's really important for you to understand that what you are feeling is uncomfortable. It's not unsafe. Our mind starts to think that anytime that we're uncomfortable, we're unsafe. But really, it's just an uncomfortable sensation. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling sad. And I am okay. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling sad. I miss my ex, and I'm okay. I will hold myself. I will love myself, and I will continue to lead myself. I will continue to lead and move my life forward in the direction that I want. I will yearn. I will feel sad. My heart will ache. And I will lead myself in the direction that I want. And I will lead myself to this way. And I will lead myself to the kind of love that I rightfully deserve. Right? All the time you are leading yourself. It's from what place are you leading yourself from? Are you leading from your sadness? Are you leading from your loneliness? Because sad and lonely is not on the frequency of extraordinary love. Extraordinary love is free, liberated, authentic. It's brave, it's desire, it's a longing and a yearning, but from a place of like, one day. It's from a place of, I love myself and I will continue to keep choosing myself no matter what. I will love myself and I will continue to keep choosing myself no matter what. I love myself and I will continue to keep choosing myself no matter what. I love myself and I will keep choosing myself no matter if my ex calls me and starts saying sweet nothings, because I've already experienced what that relationship is like. I love myself and I choose myself all the time, no matter if this guy keeps telling me how beautiful I am, he keeps flirting with me and giving me attention, but you know, he was a little dominating and he didn't quite respect my physical boundaries. He kept trying to kiss me when I've told him no already. I love myself and I keep choosing myself no matter if I'm lonely and sad. And I want to just talk to some guy and just go on a date. I will keep choosing myself over and over and over again. Choosing yourself is being in the frequency of the one. Not choosing yourself is being in the frequency of someone else. So it's really important to understand when you are in the place of my primal instincts are wanting to take over, meaning my arousal, my need for a tribe, like those types of things. We have to understand when these are coming online, so that you can acknowledge them and have personal power over them. So the next time you want to call your ex, ask yourself, why am I calling him? And number 2, which frequency am I choosing? Am I choosing this same ego love and this frequency of men that I've always left heartbroken, my mental health has always been somehow sabotaged? Or am I going to choose the love that I so greatly desire and deserve, knowing that it's out there, even if I can't right now touch it? That's what you want to think about. So when I shared this with my client, she said, thank you so much for bringing me back and reminding me. She's like, you're right. He's not embodied. And, you know, he doesn't deserve me right now. And, you know, it's like I took her and kind of brought her back down here and was like, okay, honey, I hear you. I know that. And let's look at some hard facts here. You know, let's look at what really has happened from this place. And when you do this, it's not about unvalidating what you're experiencing and what you're feeling, right? When you look at certain facts, it's good to do that to practice your discernment, especially if with men, you've always felt a little bit of a weakness. Your discernment is really important, because what happens is that we take out the discernment and we just follow the emotions. And emotions are good, but if we don't know where they're coming from, they can lead us in the wrong place, right? So if I'm feeling hot and horny and wet for someone, that's just all it's saying. Inviting him into your body without having what you want from him, you're opening yourself up to heartbreak, and you're giving him the holy grail before he's rightfully earned it, which does nothing and is complete disservice to men. Because they're saying that they don't have to do anything to win the prize. And you got to understand that men are challenge seekers. That's kind of how they know where they are. Right? So if you're constantly allowing them to win without giving them some sort of challenge for them to rise, you're not doing anything for their masculine core. Men grow, but the masculine grows on challenge. And sometimes that challenge means that they mess up with you so bad they will never have you again, and they have to face that reality somewhere else. And that's perfect. That's perfect. That was perfect for you and was perfect for them. Right? So it's important to allow ourselves to use this brain of ours and to sit and really ask ourselves questions when we're feeling a lot of, especially sexual energy. Shadow match relationships are high on the sexual energy, and the sexual energy, you will confuse that for love if you don't know how to unpack what it is that's happening in the moment. And when you've been so used to just giving your body to someone, and when you don't know how to self-source your own sexual energy, right? Because if we don't know how to the sexual energy can be so strong, and your yoni can be so wet and so juicy and wanting it, that we can give into that temptation if you do not know how to self-source and to take that energy and use it for yourself and use it for good versus leaking it out to men, right? Which I have a whole dripping pleasure is all about that, as well as we're going to be doing that more in Sex Priestess, which I'm thinking about selling Sex Priestess as well as the Feminine Magic in a bundle, because they definitely go hand in hand after Sex Priestess is complete. It's going to be a self-study program. I might do that. So what else? So yeah, it's really important for this. And this is what gets you out of that wobbly place and more into your center, more into who you are, into what you stand for, and not falling for the first sign of, oh my God, they've gotten better just from one conversation. One conversation isn't going to change anything. You need, especially if there's been a lot of, especially if your heart's been broken, there needs a lot of time and a lot of evidence to show you that he's changed. So this is how you bring yourself back and open yourself up to the frequency that you desire. Now, does that mean that all breakups end up in a breakup and that you can never get back together? No, I do believe that anything is possible, and I do believe that people can absolutely change. I 1000% believe that. Is it for you? I don't know, but you have to continue to use your discernment and continue to be of service to yourself and to him by standing true to what it is that you want, and not falling for the first sign of him having a change, or for the first sign of a man giving you some sort of attention. You have to stay open to that frequency of what it is that you want, and you have to know, number one, what do you want? And number two, what are the standards that you need to have to stay here? When you know that, and you always evaluate when you meet someone or when your ex calls you back, are they meeting me here? Are they meeting me here, or are they meeting me here to the old version of myself? Here and nothing less. Here and nothing less. Here and nothing less. And your wobble is solid. You're not wobbly anymore. You're only wobbly when you don't know what you want, when you allow yourself to get swooned away by words, and when you allow your sex to get in the way, meaning that you allow that to take over. These are things that are easier. Sometimes that can be easily said, but then once executed, once you start feeling those uncomfortable sensations of loneliness, of I don't want to call him, but I'm not going to call him, that's really the initiation. The initiation is that. The initiation is like, can I stay in my uncomfortable sensations in my body even though I want to calm, even though I want to say yes, but he's not meeting me here. He's not meeting me here. This guy's not meeting me here. That's the initiation, saying no, confidently passing, having men, pretty much putting men in a position of, I'm going to challenge you. Not in a place that you say in your mind, you're challenging them, but your standards naturally challenges him. Which, by the way, this happens in your relationship. Your desires are always going to challenge the masculine. Your desires will always challenge the masculine to rise up to the occasion. And also it will challenge you, because we can't be a princess and we can't be, like a spoiled princess and expecting things to happen as soon as you want it, when you want it, and with no regard of him. Right? So there are things in here that you want, your desires as a woman, and the growth and the evolution of your relationship will challenge that. And of course, challenge you, because you have an inner masculine as well. So it's really important to understand this so that you're always living in your truth in your relationship and you're not living a lie. Living a truth in your relationship will feel so liberating. And by doing that, you need to stay here. You need to stay here in the frequency of the one and the frequency of that standard of what it is that you want, without wavering. Without wavering. So I have a masterclass on this called Elevated Woman Masterclass that helps you really work through all of this that I'm telling you about. And it will be a masterclass that you have on repeat. My clients have it on repeat whenever they're going through something challenging. I'm like, put this on repeat, listen to module. I usually, where they are, depending on where they are, I tell them to listen to the module so that they can infuse their mind with that focus of what they need. No wobble, personal power. And I have 3 practices that do that. So that masterclass is $111. And it is absolutely a masterclass that you will always play no matter what. And if you do my one-on-one mentorship program, or if you do my one-on-one intensives, I have a masterclass. Well, with my mentorship program, you get everything, all my masterclasses and things like that. You get that as part of the mentorship. And if you do the one-on-one intensive, you get 1 masterclass. So depending on where you are and what we're talking about, that masterclass will be included. So if this is what I feel like you would need and really benefit greatly of, you get that. So my one-on-one intensives are $555 for a 175-minute call, 4 weeks, 28 days of Telegram coaching, which in my opinion is the shit. We make you go through so many upgrades and so many breakthroughs in my one-on-one, in the Telegram coaching is unbelievable. I love my one-on-one intensives. They are great when you have 1 or 2 really specific things that you want to get to, that you're trying to work through. So if you're in this wobble zone with men and you're really looking to fortify your strength and be in your personal power, so you're no longer falling in the frequency of the old patterns, this is an awesome way to move through that. And it's $555. So that is an option, or you can buy the masterclass on your own. That alone, that masterclass has helped so many women shift things so fast and move through things that they were stuck in. So you can definitely do that for $111. Okay, then the next thing that I have available is my 6-month mentorship program. So that is for the woman who is healing from toxic and narcissistic relationships and who is looking to become the woman that is adored by her king, and who is in the frequency of this expansive, authentic, whole woman that is a match for that sacred union love, for the love of a lifetime. So this is a 6-month mentorship container because we go very much deep, and this is about really evolving you as a woman in the most deepest aspects that you can imagine. It includes all of my programs that we have within those 6 months, and about every few months there's a new program that I have coming out. It includes all my master classes and programs, so you're always going to be supported with me and through what we work through and what we talk through, and continuing to evolve you in every single area when it comes to your relationship of love and what that entails and where we see those leaky points coming out in your life. This is about living your soul-led life. Really healing your relationship to the masculine, going into your feminine embodiment, allowing yourself to be free and authentic, breaking generational trauma, dysfunction, curses, all of the things that are keeping you in patterns that are not serving you, and that are keeping you in patterns that are attracting the same type of men, that leave you in a disempowered place with men, that leave you not even with men, but other masculine energies, money, your career, which these are big topics that we talk about in my one-on-one, because they are also representative of the masculine energy and how you relate to these energies, as well as your the cosmic masculine as well. So we work on all of these, and I have a few spots available for the month of August. So if you're interested in that, please message me and we can talk more about it. And remember that when you are in this place of wobbliness, is because you haven't solidified your personal power in this specific area. So when you are circumstantial, that's okay. Because what you are doing is choosing which frequency you want to be on. Am I going to be in the old frequency of what I was doing, or am I going to be in this new embodied frequency, which is a calibration, which is facing really uncomfortable feelings, and which is really putting that line in the sand, that sword in the sand of saying, like, this is what I stand for. This is what I want, and nothing less. So that will complete today's live. And I have something coming for you next week, so it's gonna be so good. All right, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say about that, but I'm really excited. I'm currently making the website and landing pages and all of the things. It's gonna be so good. If you liked this topic today, you're definitely gonna wanna be in this, and it's free. All right. I'm gonna go make dinner and have a beautiful rest of your day.